Tolkien tells us that there was a friendship between the dwarves and the elves, and then there was a closeness that existed between those two people that was closer than any other time in all of Middle-earth history. So we really felt like we wanted to capture that that sort of specialness of that time period.
I am the one keeping the storm at bay.
Sauron is my enemy as much as yours. I can help you destroy him.
Jerry, one thing I really noticed, I don't know if you actually thought about it this way, that there is a little bit of similarity with what I saw happening a few months ago with Dune 2. Because both of these shows and the film comes from a text that is very thick in lore, that requires a lot of setup in the first part. And now, when the second part comes along, there is actual payoff. Do you think that is what is happening with Rings of Power as well?
Well, I think by nature of where we are in the franchise, that's just chapter 2 of a story. You will be further into it. You'll know more of the characters. You'll know more what's going on, and you can just sort of start with a bang. We did a lot of setting of the chessboard, season 1, introducing people to the Second Age of Middle-earth, bringing a lot of different characters and worlds into people's attention, and then had some big things and reveals happen at the end of season 1. But now, really, Sauron has taken control of the narrative. And once he takes control, he never lets go.
Yeah, things move so much quicker in the second season, and it was really, really fun to watch.
Amazing.
And there is a scene in the first or second episode when Poppy comes along and she makes sure that her friend doesn't go into the danger alone. And it really reminded me of that scene when Samwise Gamgee wades through water to make sure that Frodo doesn't go into Mordor alone. It's a very beautiful parallel, and you guys bring the warmth that is sometimes really what we crave for through the season. I want to know, did that friendship of sticking with your friend, not letting go of them, really translate into your personal life as well, relationship with each other?
Yeah, I mean, it's so lovely to be able to work with someone who you really get on with very well in real life. I think when we first met, there was like instant chemistry, and we've sort of been hanging out ever since. It's it's really lovely.
And Chidi, one question that I have is that people were really apprehensive about how will Charlie look in a different, as the fair form of Anatar. So was there ever any discussion that maybe we should get another actor, or was it always the idea that he should be the one in that blonde hair? And
Yes, always that it would be him. And we did various look developments in terms of looking at exactly how we wanted to execute it with the hair and with the makeup, with the costume, but eventually landed on that, and we feel like he looks fantastic. And it's fun to watch him sort of over the course of the season, because his outfits and costume sort of reflects the character as he becomes more openly dark throughout the season. Watch his costumes, because that reflects sort of some of the changes that are going on in him and the relationship with Celebrimbor.
What a great detail. That's so amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it doesn't really, when you first see him in the trailer, you really realize that, is he the same actor actually? It's not really the Clark Kent phenomenon happening.
It's a testament.
Putting on the glasses and then fooling everyone. No, he does look very different.
Yeah, it's a testament to his abilities as an actor. He's quite talented.
And do you guys, when you were shooting in that desert, it really looked like a treacherous terrain. What was it like shooting those segments this time?
I mean, it definitely wasn't as terrifying as it looks on screen. I feel like that is for sure just curated through the amazing VFX and also the way it was shot. But it was beautiful. It really was an amazing time. We shot in Tenerife, and we were there for a while, so we really got to explore. But I think it really helped, at least me portraying Nori. Nori's never been as exposed as she is this season, like just geographically. She's not with her family, so, and they're normally very kind of discreet in regards to where they are, location-wise. So it was interesting for me, having never been to Tenerife as well, just channeling the kind of openness and the curiosity being in somewhere new, into kind of Nori's journey as well, just being completely unknown terrain.
My last question. In this series, we have seen two parallels that bring really big warmth factor into the story. One is that Elrond and Durin, who reminded me of maybe Legolas and Gimli from the movies, and then both of you as Frodo and Sam. Was that intentional to make sure that those relationships come along and are also reflected in this this series as well?
I mean, certainly we look at all of Tolkien to see what kinds of relationships exist in his stories. But I'd say like the Elrond and Durin one specifically comes from the idea that in the Second Age, Tolkien tells us that there was a friendship between the dwarves and the elves, and then there was a closeness that existed between those two people that was closer than any other time in all of Middle Earth history. So we really felt like we wanted to capture that sort of specialness of that time period, and it certainly also echoes Legolas and Gimli as well, and so that's an iconic relationship that I think is makes sense to point to. And then Frodo and Sam, I mean, in as much as they're halflings and they're friends, sure, I guess that makes sense. I think it's a different kind of relationship. Sam is Frodo's gardener, which is sort of a different kind of relationship. In some ways, Poppy is more like an adopted sister for Nori, in that
equal balance.
Yeah, she sort of has lost her family and has become first a friend and then again, almost a family member for Nori and the Brandyfoot family. So it's slightly different, but like in as much as they're halflings and they're friends, definitely you can draw that parallel.